Welcome back. 7:16. Millions of Americans are about to send their most sensitive personal information out into cyberspace, trusting that it's going to be safe. According to the IRS, roughly 85% of people filed their taxes online last year. So that means nearly 130 million social security numbers, home addresses, other personal information, basically moving from server to server. And a KXAN investigation found last year that kids are the most vulnerable targets for thieves looking to cash in on stolen social security numbers, and crooks are trying to steal as much of all that information as they can. Paul Singer works in the Texas Attorney General Internet Enforcement Unit, joining us live this morning to talk about how we can avoid this happening to us. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
So I was telling you before we came on the air that this happened to me, 10 plus years ago, before the internet was what it is, and now it's got to be a much bigger problem. What are the things that we're doing with our personal information that's putting us at risk? What are the mistakes we're making?
Sure. So I think the key is just being aware, right? Making sure that you know where your information is going, how you're putting it out there, and how the scammers are ultimately potentially going to be using that information. This time of year especially, people assume that their identity is at risk for things like draining their bank account. But during tax season, tax fraud is one of the big problems, where someone may use your identity, file a tax return in your name, and claim a refund that you're entitled to.
And I would imagine, too, the information you put on a tax return is kind of like the holy grail for these people. That's basically everything they need, right?
That's right. So, I mean, it's really important to be sensitive to that and limit your exposure as a consumer, right? You don't want to be out there leaving that information available either online or offline. As you prepare your taxes, if you've got all the paperwork around your house like I do and have bank statements and old tax returns, think about the people that come and go from your home and who they are, and do you trust them with that information? That's
a good point. And if it goes into the trash or something, make sure it's shredded. So aside from that, the shredding, the papers, how do you protect yourself? What do you do? How do you know that when you send it off to TurboTax or one of the big things that it is safe?
Sure. So a couple of things. One is make sure you use some of the basic protections online, right? So if you don't have antivirus software or anti-malware software, make sure you get those. There's plenty of free options available. That's going to help you. Also, for a lot of users that use the online services, they're going to notice some differences this year. The IRS has taken steps to work with those major preparers in upgrading the way that you provide information and adding protections such as enhanced passwords and extra security questions to make sure that you're protected.
Can you assume that the big names, I mentioned TurboTax, but there's other ones, TaxSlayer, can you assume that those big operations are pretty safe?
Well, I mean, it's never 100% safe, right? Nothing that you do is ever going to be a guarantee that your information is protected. But you can generally feel secure that those companies are going to have taken the steps to safeguard that information to the best that they can, because they have legal obligations to do so.
Sure, and a financial interest in doing it as well. So then the question is, running out of time here, but let's say the worst happens and somebody does get their hands on your information. What do you do? How do you fix the problem?
So best advice we can give people is visit our website, texasattorneygeneral.gov, click on the link for identity theft. We have a very basic point-by-point walkthrough of the steps that you can take to help recover, in the event that the worst happens.
Well, also, hey guys, we have much more involving the investigations here at KXAN into identity theft, child identity theft online. There's also the hotline there that you can talk about, 800-252-8011, and more information at our website, kxan.com, because there's other links as well. We have all that on our website. Paul, thank you so much, and hopefully you're not too busy in the coming year with all this.